Very good morning, students. We have finished with our civics chapter. We'll start with the new chapter, that is effects of British rule. In second chapter we have already finished, that is Europe and India. Now in this chapter we are going to talk about power struggle, British and Marathas, entry of British, first Anglo-Maratha war, second Anglo-Maratha war, third Anglo-Maratha war, Daulat Rao Shinde, the subsidiary alliance, the condition of subsidiary alliance. Now in this chapter we are going to talk how different treaties were signed and what all things came across, what were the effects of British rule when they entered our country, what things happened. Let us begin, students. Power struggle. All European powers, including Portuguese, Dutch, French, and British, entered the race for capturing the Indian market. As I told you, our country was a wealthy country. And in the beginning, also in 6th standard, also we saw that many foreign powers came to invade India. Even 7th standard we saw Mughals, they were trying to attack and they were trying to capture India. Here also all the European powers, which all those Portuguese, Dutch, French and British entered the race for capturing the Indian market. So there was a competition in them. They wanted to have captured Indian market. Initially, Portuguese gave bitter resistance to the British, but later they developed friendly relations. So, in the beginning, first Portuguese were having little conflicts. But later on they developed with a good friendly relations. Britishers had to face opposition from French, Dutch, and many local rulers. Now there were many local rulers also, right? We have seen in our 6th standard. Small kingdoms were there, Vakatakas, Cholas, and every individual king, there was king for those areas. So those local rulers also started opposing their entry into the British. That is Britishers' entry into our country. So Britishers had to face opposition from French, Dutch, and many local rulers. British and Marathas, entry of the British. Now how did Britishers got entrance? How they got entry into our country? Marathas had a strong hold on areas in and around the Mumbai. So Marathas were very strong and they were having control over the areas of their. But Mumbai was the main center of the British in Western India. So Mumbai was one of the important center. It was the main center of the Britishers. Which Mumbai was the main was the prime center, means it was the main center of the Britishers in Western India. Britishers tried to acquire nearby territories, but the Marathas checked their expansion. So they were trying to acquire the nearby territories of those, like Mumbai, it was their main center, and beside those there were certain small, so they were trying to acquire, they were trying to capture, but Marathas checked their expansion. It was only after the death of Peshwa Madhav Rao. Now we have seen this Peshwaship, Balaji Vishwanath, then Baji Rao, and then we saw Madhav Rao, Raghunath Rao. We have seen this Bhosle families in last 7th standard. So, after the death of Peshwa Madhav Rao, they got entry in the Maratha politics. Now, how they got entry now? Look here. Raghunath Rao, in his greed means lalach, for the seat of Peshwaship, sought the help of Britishers. So, he took whose help? The Britishers' help. To do what? To sit on the Peshwaship. So he wanted to become a Peshwa. So whose help did he take? Britishers. And Britishers got entry in our country. So this is the person, because of this person, means after the death of Madhav Rao, after his death, they got entry in the Maratha politics. Because of whom? Raghunath Rao. Raghunath Rao, in his greed means lalach, for the seat of Peshwaship, sought help of the Britishers. So they got a chance to enter. First Anglo-Maratha war, and this is how the first Maratha war was fought. Three wars were fought between Marathas and the British during 1774 to 1880. So total three wars, that is first Anglo War, second Anglo War and third Anglo War. As the Marathas fought unitedly, the Britishers were defeated in the first Anglo War. So in the first Anglo War, Britishers got defeated and they were fighting very strongly. It concluded with the Treaty of Salbai. Treaty means you have seen in 7th standard certain treaties were also signed where Shivaji gave forts to and certain all those things. Treaties means compromise. So here also a compromise was done and a Treaty of Salbai was signed in 1782. Second Anglo-Maratha War. In 1802, Bajirao II entered into the subsidiary alliance with the Britishers. Now, what is subsidiary alliance, student? They form a union or a group or an association. It is related for the benefit. किसी फायदे के लिए ये करना. That is this alliance. Subsidiary alliance with the British by the Treaty of Bassein. Bassein means Vasai. So he entered into the treaty with whom? With some intention, with some benefits. So he entered with the treaty. Subsidiary alliance means he formed a union. It was between the Indian country and the European states. So it was just a union which was formed with the Britishers with the treaty. Which treaty was signed here? Treaty of Bassein or Vasai. Today we say it Vasai. The second Anglo-Maratha War took place as some Maratha Sardars opposed the treaty. So they did not like, there were some Sardars in Marathas. No, so they did not like this kind of treaty. So they don't want it to. And so that is why they opposed. And because of this, Marathas were defeated in the war. So since they did not like this treaty which was being signed, that is alliance, subsidiary alliance with Britishers, some Sardars did not like. And that is the reason they opposed. वो खिलाफ हो गए. And because of that, Marathas were defeated in the second Anglo War. Third Anglo-Maratha War. The defeat of Marathas led to the increase in the interference of the British in the Maratha state. Now what happened after the defeat? The Britishers started interfering into the Maratha state. Interference means what? They started looking into the things. Sometimes see our neighbors, they mostly interfere in our matters. हाँ ये हुआ था अच्छा हाँ. Then they wanted to poke always their nose in between. They always wanted to enter into our life, or they always wanted to see what is happening in our family, etc. Interference. So here also this Britishers they started interference in the Maratha state. Bajirao II declared war against the British as he could not tolerate their interference. So उसको बर्दाश्त नहीं हुआ that they were always झांकना, interference. They were trying to get into the matters, interference. They were trying to interfere, and that is the reason Bajirao II did not like this, and so he declared a war against them. He was defeated in this war and surrendered in 1880. So Bajirao II, he declared war because he was not happy. He was could not tolerate those things that Britishers are every now and then they are looking into the Maratha state. So he did not like that, and that is the reason he declared a war. But he was defeated in the war and surrendered himself. खुद को हवाले करना, that is 1880. Daulatrao Shinde. The capital of Mughals was under the control of Daulatrao Shinde. So Daulatrao Shinde was the capital, means the Mughals capital. Now we have New Delhi as a capital. So Mughals का भी कोई capital था, and it was under the control of Daulatrao Shinde. General Lake defeated and captured him. General Lake is one of the officer. He defeated him, and by defeating the troop of General Lake, captured the Mughal. So he captured that area also. Who? General Lake. General Lake is a name of the British officer. So he defeated Daulatrao Shinde and captured also. Next comes subsidiary alliance. Now we spoke about the subsidiary alliance, that is to form a union. In 1798, Governor General Lord Wellesley, with a view to bring the whole India under the British rule, introduced the subsidiary alliance. So what it is, just kind subsidiary alliance is nothing but it is formed because of the benefit. उसके पीछे कुछ मकसद होता है. When this alliance is being formed, subsidiary alliance, a group or a union, is being formed, that time there are certain benefits, उसके फायदे होते. And because Lord Wellesley, he was the Governor General, Lord Wellesley, with a view, what was his intention? He wanted to bring whole India under the British rule. So that is the reason he introduced this alliance. He entered into the treaties with many Indian rulers, whereby assurance of military assistance was given by the British. So what किस लालच दिया उनको? Assurance दिया, surety दिया that they will be giving them military assistance. So we will be providing you military safety. He entered into the treaties with many Indian rulers, whereby assurance, एक विश्वास दिलाया that military assistance was given to the British, that we will be giving you military protection, we will be giving you military help in any kind of difficulty. So that was one which was given. The condition of subsidiary alliance. Indian rulers should keep the British army in their court territory. So what were the condition? When you sign an agreement, students, if you join a job, that appointment letter is given to you or a contract letter, there are certain terms and conditions which you need to accept. Just like in students, if you update an app or if you download a new app, you have certain things to agree and continues. So we need to read those documents, right? That okay, fine, I accept this, I allow this. So here also, student, when this subsidiary alliance was signed, there were certain conditions, terms and conditions. Indian rulers should keep the British army in their court territory. So when the court is being set up in their Indian territory, means in their kingdom, they should keep one military or one to a military army in their court. So that was the first point. They were to pay the company towards the maintenance of these forces in cash, or say it's a part of their territory, giving equivalent amount of revenue. So what was the second demand? They should be paid in cash, or they should be given some part of the territory. So see, students, this is the benefit, how slowly they were trying to enter into Indian politics. This is how. First condition was what? उनको कोर्ट, उनके kingdom में रखना army को. Second was what? To pay them in a cash or to give them certain revenue, to collect revenue from certain part. If they collect the revenue, means the revenue goes to whom? Britishers. The rulers would have alliance or go to war with other powers without the mediation of the British. Rulers would not have alliance. Now what was this another third condition? Without the permission of Britishers, they are not supposed to go and fight with other powers. Though they were with the Indian army, but whose permission they should take? Britishers. So what will British do? Definitely they will not send their armies to fight. The rulers should accept a British residence in their state. And what was this other condition? Residence means British would stay in their kingdom and they should accept their residence. They should be allowed to stay there. Those Indian rulers who accepted this condition lost their freedom. Certain Indian rulers accepted this conditions, and which at the end they lost their freedom. Slowly British went on capturing part by part all the things. So as we saw, what is subsidiary alliance? So Lord Wellesley wanted to bring whole country under his control, and that is the why this alliance was signed. And there were certain conditions, terms and conditions, and all the conditions were for whose benefit? Britishers. Nothing was there for Indian. Everything was for the Britishers' benefits. And those Indian rulers who accepted this lost their freedom. Remaining part we'll be doing in the next lecture. Till then, stay safe, solve the assignment. Thank you, students.